Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Jewell, for appearing before the committee today and for your service at the Department of Interior. I, for one, appreciate your work in behalf of the multi-use mandate, which is inherent in the Department of Interior's management of federal lands and the Department's critical role in protecting these lands for future generations. This is obviously not without its challenges, as we're hearing today, but it is important that we keep in mind that these lands belong to all Americans, that they're part of our national heritage, and that we have to keep this in mind as many difficult decisions are being made. I want to focus on the national parks, and I want to especially thank you for coming to visit my district this past fall as part of my River Day. I know that I'm not the only member of Congress where you've made a point to come out and see the remarkable national parks that so many of us are home to. And one of the real highlights of that visit was the opportunity to hand out an Every Kid in the Park pass to local fourth graders. Some of them had come from a nearby city where there wasn't a resident national park, not always have the opportunity. In fact, I don't think any of them had really ever been to a national park. And so I think it's such an important initiative that you're taking, and especially as you seek to engage diverse populations for the future. So important, I think, to the long-term health and not viability, but understanding of the important role that our national parks play in protecting our great heritage. In that vein, I've really seen some great numbers reflecting the significant visitation and recreational use of our national parks, and I wanted to give you a chance to simply highlight that. And it was great to hear Congresswoman Loomis speak so highly of the national parks in her district as well.
Thank you for the comments and appreciation for the national parks. We had a record visitation last year, 307 million visitors to the national parks. This is the centennial year, 2016. I'm quite confident we'll see an increase on that number. It drives tremendous revenues to local economies, billions of dollars. The outdoor recreation industry estimates in total $646 billion, a big chunk of that through national parks. Chris, do you have the specific numbers, or Mike, for our latest national park study? We'll provide that to you as opposed to scrambling through the paperwork here. But as you know from the park in your state, as the chairman knows from the national parks in Utah and our other national parks, these are big drivers of revenue and tourism and jobs across our country.
I actually have the numbers in front of me.
Okay.
In 2015 alone, the National Park Service confirmed a record 307.2 million visits,
Yep.
which was a 4.9 increase over the previous record-setting year in 2014 of 292.8 million visits. I wish we could get more of those visits too. Lowell, Minuteman does a great job. 11 parks had more than 5 million recreation visits in 2015, and overnight stays in park campgrounds and backcountry were up over 2014. So I think obviously a broad recognition across this country of just the unique opportunities that our national parks present. But yet, despite widespread public support for the National Park Service, its budget has been decreasing. In just the past 10 years, the Park Service has had its budget decreased by 22%, compromising its ability to make sure the long-term protection of compromising its ability to ensure the long-term protection of this great heritage. In my own district, Lowell National Historical Park has had a 15% reduction in full-time staff from fiscal year 10 to 15, and a 22% reduction in the park's base budget. Similarly, at Minuteman National Park, which commemorates the beginnings of the American Revolution, there's been a 27% decrease in staff time, which is so important to fulfilling the mission of the park, and an 8% reduction in the base budget. So despite all that, you all are doing a remarkable job, and I think the visitation numbers reflect that. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.